Hello everyone, good to see you all. Hope you are doing well and welcome to my channel. I am Yan and today we are listening to a comeback by Jackson Wang. So Jackson, hola mukina. So I want to see what else he has in store for us today. We are listening to his song called Alone. That sounds really sad. Hopefully he won't be alone at the end of the MV, but let's check it out right now. Okay, so Jackson Wang, Alone. It also has Chinese, Yakoyan, Igeren. So by himself, one person, if I translate it directly. So yeah, maybe it's in Chinese or a mix of different languages, but we'll find out right now.
那故事别的够，还是一个人在走。听故事别的话，对于我说过的会实现吗？时间过得太快 You think I don't know what is right 可以接受伤害，可以接受失败 I can just let it go Oh yeah 脚步远了就在黑暗里 Walking all alone When I do I feel my enemy 但我只是走这一路上就我一个人虽然经常觉得有点累已经习惯自己一个人每次趴在地上想起来给我可怜这一路上就我一个人在心里觉得有点疼已经习惯自己一个人每次趴在地上想起来给我可怜少的没什么感觉自己的影子也说累了面对一切但还是快乐有点我不再希望还有人记得开始慢慢的接受也许你喜欢的不是我属于我的不会放手冷漠的离开就走 oh, yeah. 脚步远了就在黑暗里 Walking all alone When I do I feel my enemy 但我只是走这一路上就我一个人虽然经常觉得有点累已经习惯自己一个人每次趴在地上想起来给我可怜这一路上就我一个人在心里觉得有点疼已经习惯自己一个人每次趴在地上想起来给我可怜
Okay, that was a very touching song. It was simple, like it was just him in the middle of nowhere, literally being alone, but it really hits the spot when he's trying to portray all of that, right? And I didn't mean to have the English translation at the bottom, but I think for this MV it was appropriate because the MV itself was simple. It didn't portray a whole lot, but I'm gonna talk more about that too because it did portray something, and it's just in a different way than other MVs that I've seen quite recently. So this is actually like a one. How do they call it? Like a one take shot, one shot take. This whole MV was taken in one shot, and so I thought the cameraman did a really good job. With that pacing and the way it was filmed, you can really feel and get the idea that he was alone and it's sad and it's just very difficult. But we see him sitting on his bed, very bare and empty, and then we get to see all these food dishes and foods panned out. I see delicious bread, fried rice, veggies, and Chinese style like teacups and teapot. So it looks like he's waiting for someone. It looks like a pretty big feast. Let me shrink myself. I can see more. Yeah. And it looks like it's a table with 3 chairs. So maybe for a small family. And it's all set and ready and prepared with no chopsticks. Oh no, there are. They're right here, camouflaged. But it seems like it's ready. However, no one is going to show up. No one is going to be there. It's just going to be him. Just Jackson, Jackson, and Jackson. So this scene is already very sad, and we also notice that the floor, it's full of dust and gravel and broken woods and pieces of wood, and so we know that wherever he's living, it's not the best place. However, he has provided the best food for whoever. And then we pan back to Jackson, and he is walking out of his room, and he sang in English and also in Mandarin. I don't know enough Mandarin, and he also had like a slight, not necessarily an accent, but the way he sang made it hard for me to hear certain words that I should know in Mandarin. So having that translation underneath really did help me get what he's trying to express. So his voice is very unique this time. I mean, I know he's very talented in using his voice from rapping to singing, but it 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 was stronger. It looked like he was hitting each word clearly and powerfully, and also very emotionally, and it just showed that he was very much alone all by himself. So I'm sure he had a little bit of like effects in his voice, but it's mainly his voice, right? So I like that. It was really emotional, especially when he sang this part as he walked down the staircase. It was very touching indeed. And then we see him walking out, and he is out in the open, that's for sure, but there's nothing. It's like a deserted parking lot or a deserted complex area, and there's nothing. The color schemes are similar. He also blends in with the gray and brown and more of the those type of shades, if you know what I mean. And it looks like he's just always looking forward, looking up, looking at something. And we can tell based on the little quote that he had at the end, always be hopeful, even when you're alone, even when it's difficult, right? There is always hope. So keep facing forward and keep pressing on, and you will find something good over this mountain that's challenging at the moment. And we just see him walking again. The cameraman is just filming him. It's a one take, and sometimes we see just the camera panning on the ground, but then we later on see him running. And I don't know, I don't want to make this into like a humorous situation, but I do want to ask, why did he just jump up there? So this part is like, yeah, I'm gonna just jump up and I land. And then it looks like, why did I just jump up there? What was the purpose of that? Why do I need to do that? Let me get back down. Oh, I fell. I hurt myself. So I'm sure it's just the scene to show, the cool effects and just seeing him at a different angle. I think that's why he hopped onto that car. And afterwards, he just kept going and walked towards that direction. We see the Olympic sign here, so I'm not sure where we're at. Could it be, total guess, just because he sang in Mandarin, could this be the place where it was once the Olympics in Beijing, but then they have to tear everything down because there's no space? So could this be the place where they had the Olympics? And so it is sad because the Olympics is a community full of people cheering, supporting, encouraging, enjoying the sports together. But now you are by yourself due to various situations. One of them is COVID, right? So maybe that's just my guess. I just thought of it like on the spot right now, because the setting is very different and very unique. We see a lot of just panning and him walking. We see other cars with driver licenses that says the Wang, Team Wang, sorry, right here. Can I get it? Taha, right here. And so it looks like he's always just facing forward though. He was tired, he wiped his face, right? It's difficult, it's hard, right? However, he kept looking forward at his goal or at hope. And I thought that was very nice because yes, it's challenging. However, there's still more to go. And if you keep going, you'll find something that you won't expect, and you might find happiness and joy as well. So what I mean by a very simple MV is the way that they filmed it. However, just having Jackson walking and having those facial expressions, he was able to portray what he wanted to. So even though it's simple, there wasn't a lot going on, there was still actually a lot going on. I hope you know what I mean by that. And I just thought the quotes were very helpful and encouraging, and I hope it's also encouraging for you as well. Just don't give up. If we keep going, we will find something that's meaningful. And I just wish that everyone will continue to do their best, and of course, find people who can support you and be with you so that you won't be alone. But there will be times where there's hardship and pain, and that's part of life. I know some parts are trickier than others. Some chapters are more difficult to read and go through, but every chapter ends and there is always something good at the end, because after the end there will be a new beginning. Yeah. All right, thank you so much for watching this with me. Continue to support Jackson as he's producing different types of music for us, even though GOT7 is currently separated for the time being, which is very sad, but I'm glad that they're still keeping in touch and still together. And I guess he may feel alone right now since he's all of a sudden by himself, right? But he knows that they will see each other again, they will be together again, and he has other great friends with him to support him through this time. Yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you next time.